Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. So, in terms of politics in Barbados, Tyra Trotman is positioning herself for St. Michael Central, and whoever's there, I guess, would be gone. And Corey Lane is for Bridgetown, and I saw somewhere where they're saying that his position is going to be gone. He should never have been a member of parliament. No one should have been calling Corey Lane. Think about it, Corey Lane. Honorable? Honorable? He should never have been part of anyone's lineup. So he's gone. And then there is Dwight Sutherland. You're not hearing anything as yet about him vacating that role, but I'm sure that Mia Mottley is looking for someone to take that particular slot for Dwight Sutherland. As I said to you before, the problem is the quality of the male that you have to pick from in Barbados. It's the quality, and no matter how you dice it and slice it, you can add romance. Like I've said before, you could add icing. Like I've said, you could do whatever you want to do to certain situations, certain given situations. It doesn't change the outcome. The outcome is going to be that you're going to have a defective kind of species in that role. Whatever role, if you're using a male out of Barbados, I'm going to focus on Barbados, a male out of Barbados. But for Mia Mottley to have a 100% female cabinet, that's not going to fly in Barbados either, because a lot of people in Barbados are male centric. You could figure out what the word means, okay? They're male centric. They will sell their offspring to males. They know that the male can provide some money to pay or help pay rent, to pay light bill, to pay a water bill, to do whatever it is. A lot of females in Barbados, they depend on the male for that kind of, I don't know, it's money. It's money that adds to whatever money they have. So it's a bad situation for someone like Mia Mottley. For Ralph Thorne, it's not going to be a bad situation for him because he's pulling from his particular clan. He's male, so he's going to have more males positioned in the DLP and running within that particular party. And then there's other parties. And okay, let's go back to the BLP. When Dwight Sutherland was removed from that particular portfolio and they put in that Gibbs person, like I said to you, to look at Gibbs, you can say, okay, he has kept his weight down, and that's what I'm saying, he probably takes pride in the way he looks and blah, 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 because, first, you know what they say about first impressions. But then you hear him speak. It's like, my God, what am I listening to? What am I hearing? Have you ever heard? I don't remember his first name, but I know his last name is Gibbs. Have you ever heard him speak? It's like you're listening to a child. It's like you are listening to a child, but in a full-grown body, but a child. So Mia Mottley, the BLP, with Mia Mottley at the helm, I've said before, she should have an all-female cabinet. I've said that before. I have said that before. But I understand that it would be an impossibility in a place like Barbados. It would be an impossibility. But even within that impossibility, even within that landscape of the impossibility of that happening, Corey Lane should never have been a member of her party. There's something wrong. Maybe Mia Motley thinks that when she picks guys who she perceives as being weak, that she can control them. Maybe that's it, because outside of that, there's something wrong with Mia Motley and her judgment of character. There's something wrong. There's something off. There is something off when it comes to Mia Motley and her ability to judge people. And there should be, she has such a large cabinet, there should be people around her, okay? She should have people around her that can read situations like that, let's say she has a particular person that she's interested in to hold a particular place in her cabinet. She should have a firm or maybe someone that she can give that person's name to and say, watch them, here's a video of them, here is them interviewing with me, watch their facial expressions, watch their mannerism, watch them, and they should be able to tell Mia Motley, nah man, that guy moves like a serial killer, for example. There should be people in her cabinet. She should have a person or persons in her cabinet who can read people and subtle movements and the way they speak and the way they move their eyes and, read their faces and everything should be done. And another thing that should be done, like she said it was going to be done, she, meaning Mia Motley, was you look at people's bank accounts before they come into government, and then at the end of whatever period, the 5 years, sometimes you call it before, you look at their account again. You know what you're paying them. You know what they're being paid. And if they have a job outside of government, they should actually they should have people in their office or whoever, an assistant or whatever, do that job so that they can fully immerse themselves in taking care of the people's business. So in that way, you can see the money and how their account has increased for the time that they have held the role as a minister of government. So Mia Motley has a set of people in her party that are misfits. I wanted to say another word. Misfits. They're misfits, okay? And I don't know what she's gonna do. Even Gil needs to go. Even Chris Gibbs, he needs to go. And she has the young lady, Tyra Trotman, but Tyra moves like a male. So she may have a problem with Tyra too. She may have a problem with Tyra going into the future. Tyra is similar to Cattle. Remember Cattle? Marsha Cattle? Cattle had moved in a way that you knew that she was going to be a problem. And she's female. So it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem not only for Mia Motley and the BLP, but for any party in Barbados when it comes to picking people who have a moral construct and who you can actually respect and who you could actually, after you've done your background and talked to the neighbors and talked to school teachers or whatever, you can say, well, this person's not a pervert. So she's going to have a problem coming up with people that wouldn't be clean, clean of all that I just mentioned. Yeah, she's going to have a real problem with that. But anyhow, he seems to be gone. Corey Lane is going to be gone. He seems to be, there will be someone contesting other than him in Bridgetown. Tyra Trotman is doing St. Michael Central, St. Michael South Central, whatever. But she's in there. She got herself in there, and he was in police custody, but no charges were brought. But people have said to me this and this and that has happened. But since the police questioned him, and I'm sure that within the questioning and the victims, comparing and contrasting, no charges were brought. So you don't know what happened. So you have to just leave that one alone. In a way, you have to leave it alone because the police did do their job and pulled him in for questioning. And now we're hearing that Dwight Sutherland has been brought in for questioning, and that it was alleged that a whole lot of money from the whole project, the building and those little huts and those the horrible, horrible construction. Would Mia Mottley actually live in one of those? You see, you have to ask yourself these questions. Would Mia Mottley live in a house from Hope Project? Would Mia Mottley live in a house that is built with the Hope Project, within that confine of the Hope Project? Will she live in one of those houses? And if the answer is no, that means that it's not good for you either. Okay? She's no better than you. She's no better than you. So, this is regarding the upcoming politics and the fact that this one here, Corey Lane may be out, and he should, not only is he going to be out, he should never have been there. He should never have been there. I don't know anything about Dwight Sutherland. A lot of people seem to think that they know a lot about him, but I don't know. But you got a feeling that came off of Corey Lane. There was a feeling that came off of Corey Lane. You just feel it. And Chris Gibbs, he's not good either. You know who presents well? Kerry Simmons. Kerry Simmons presents very prime ministerial. He could be the prime minister because it's optics. It's the optics. He just has the look. He has the look. Kerry Simmons has the look. Now, I'm sure you're going to say, oh, he did this and he did that. Yeah, everybody is going to say this boy did this and this boy did that. Everybody has a little doing this and doing that. But he has the look. Okay, Kerry Simmons has the look. And I don't know what is going to become of what's his name? What do you call him? Ralph A. Thorne. Yeah, I don't know what will become of Ralph A. Thorne. What do you think is going to become of him? But he does not have the look. He does not have the look. Okay? So just have to wait and see what happens. But this blog is about him being gone. Yeah, Corey Lane being gone. It's about them probably looking for someone to replace Dwight Sutherland. It's Tyra Trotman taking on an area that somebody said the name yesterday of the person who held that particular slot, but I don't recall. But yeah, there's some movement within the BLP. So today is the 3rd, so they can't be calling politics anytime soon because they were saying mid this month. But they have to. There's a little bit more that Mia Mottley has to do, other than Sutherland and other than Corey Lane. There's a little more cleaning up that she has to do. Okay, so that's it for now. Don't think I missed anything. Tyra Trotman, Corey Lane, and Dwight Sutherland, and they're all associated with the B as a boy LP. And let's see what Mia Mottley rolls out for her new administration. But the males, it's a difficult thing to do, to get a male born and bred and drinking the water and being there. It's really hard to get someone who is morally correct. It's going to be very hard for her to find someone. And if there are males who are morally correct, They're not going to be in politics. Probably they will shy away from politics. Don't want to dirty up their hands with politics. So it's just bad. It's just going to be bad. But yeah, that's it for this one. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.